What up with it, baby?
Hey, tell him what you told me.
What I tell you?
What you doing it for?
Oh, promotion, baby.
All right.
What
So
you
I
mean?
ain't gotta
But
him up,
but we should spar.
I ain't gotta him up.
We should.
I want to show the world that I'm the best. After this fight, I want to be considered top 5 pound for pound fighter in the sport, and I can't wait to show it.
You said this week that you were in for a rude awakening when you get to 140. What do you think he's in for when he goes up against you?
I think he just don't realize how good I am. I think come fight night, he's going to realize that I'm going to take it to another level that he has never seen before. So if he's expecting the Lomachenko, the Josh Taylor fight to happen, it won't be that type of fight. Senior, tell him. We talking to Senior. We ain't talking to little dude over here. Senior,
fight is a different version of me.
I know.
And I love it because even the people out there don't know what they're going to get from me. And that's the beauty about it. He could be studying, he could be doing a lot of things, but he's not going to know till the day of the fight. So
Terence Crawford sent a severe warning to Teofimo Lopez, emphasizing that underestimating Shakur Stevenson would be a tremendous mistake.
The sky is the limit with Shakur. He got the boxing skills and the ability to, do whatever he wants in the ring. And it's going to be very hard to beat Shakur, with the skills that he possesses and the smarts that he has. And given the opportunity, I think he can pose a great threat to everybody in the division.
I look up to Bud a lot. Honestly, he one of the realest dudes that I done met. He's still a normal person in his head. Like, he don't believe that he's above everyone else. And that's how I feel about myself.
You seen me around a lot. Oh, no. Don't act like you ain't seen me around them days. He said
Bud, come on. Terence talking, I try not to talk back. I try to just listen and
straight boom, straight shot. Like right here. Boom, there you go. But you gotta make sure you step. Bam. That's when the motherfucker trying to run out.
Crawford stated that Shakur's timing, accuracy, and ring IQ are deadly at the highest levels. He feels Shakur's defense creates traps that lead to clean counters, and that if Teofimo rushes or becomes reckless, Shakur can severely injure him and possibly knock him out.
I'm gonna just say all of them. It don't matter who they is. He ready for the big test and the big names, and he's going to do well with each and every one of them. And
Crawford also challenged Teofimo Lopez personally, which resulted in a tense moment. He attacked Teofimo's attitude and questioned his approach to Shakur Stevenson. The exchange is serious and unpleasant, with Crawford emphasizing that dismissing Shakur's ability might have severe ramifications inside the ring. Terence Crawford stated confidence that when the time comes, Shakur Stevenson will demonstrate to the world his full potential. He feels Shakur's focus, timing, and defensive awareness set him apart from others at the highest level. Crawford stated that once Shakur is in the spotlight, people will notice his technique, patience, and control and realize why he is regarded as one of the most complete fighters in boxing today. He also discussed his previous bouts.
Excellent. He was sharp. He was letting his hands go. He was standing in the pocket more. He probably got hit just a little bit too much because he was trying to please everybody that's saying, oh, he can't do this, he can't do that. I talked to him and told him, just be yourself. Just keep winning. It doesn't matter what the naysayers say and what the people that's having certain agendas against him.
Dan Canobio and Chris Algieri analyzed Teofimo Lopez's fight against Shakur Stevenson from a business and boxing perspective. They explained that Matchroom's dominance over the Joshua card makes a PBC crossover implausible. They believe that if Teofimo loses, Shakur will remain at 140 rather than returning to 135, which rarely happens. The analysts regard 140 as a pleasant and deep division. They agree that Shakur struggles the least against brawlers and that counterpunchers should be tested, making some matchups unlikely, despite fan interest.
Card, so therefore we're not going to put a PBC fighter on it. Anyway, Gary Antoine, I mean, all these fights are good. Like, if Teofimo ends up losing to Shakur goes into this mix, and I do think Shakur will stay at 140 for a little bit. So, and you also have
I think he stays from now on. I don't think he goes back to 35.
Yeah, it's very rare we see these guys go down after they go up. You got to add in Shakur, you got to add in Pitbull Cruz, you got to add in Lamont Roach. There's some other good names on 140 as well. But yeah, I would say Smith presents something to this puzzle at 140 is that he's from England and he can sell over there. And if you're Hitchens, who's not the biggest ticket seller here in New York, and you want a unification, you think you can beat Dalton Smith, you might have to go overseas to do it, where you can make a lot more money. Gary Antoine Russell versus Smith stylistically is great. Shakur versus Dalton Smith is stylistically great. Shakur, it's just a fun division.
I don't want to see that.
What?
I don't want to see Shakur and Dalton.
I put that one at like 1% chance of ever happening.
I don't want to see that.
Even though, like, you don't think Smith presents like he's more of like would be the brawler in the Shakur scenario. I know he would be.
Yeah, that's the worst style to fight Shakur. It's the worst style. You have to counterpunch Shakur, just like with De Los Santos. He was the guy who gave Shakur the most trouble.
Cepeda gave Shakur the best, most aesthetically pleasing fight, but not that Smith's going to throw 100 punches around.
Complete different style, though. Cepeda and Dalton aren't. You can't compare them. That's apples and oranges. Yeah, no, I don't know.
But in terms of a guy coming forward,
but is Dalton really?
According to analysts, the size disparity between Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez could affect the outcome of the bout. Despite the fact that Teofimo is the weight champion, Shakur is naturally taller, has wider shoulders, and a stronger base. Shakur's strength and control have not diminished as he has moved up, and his body appears to have settled at 140. Analysts point out that size is more than just weight. It's also about leverage, balance, and how a fighter carries mass. Shakur's height, reach, and poise enable him to control distance and delay the fight. Teofimo focuses on explosive moments and power bursts, which are more difficult to land cleanly against a larger, disciplined defender. If Shakur uses his stature to lean, control space, and wear down Teofimo, the battle changes radically.
Stevenson is bigger than Teofimo Lopez. Despite him moving up in weight, and despite Teo being the champion, we got some action. And in this video, I'm going to show and prove and break it down. I'll make it make sense in this video. You got to stay to the end. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Ego Weight Watchers, aka EW, where I give you a look into the fighter's lifestyle before, after, progress pics, especially when they have an upcoming fight. I warned you, Shakur, I have no idea why he tried to play this game where when people got on.
Bernie the Boxer presents a thorough explanation of why Shakur Stevenson stands out versus Teofimo Lopez. He underlines that Stevenson is a fighter who should not be underestimated or easily contained. Unlike many boxers who rely largely on sheer strength or one-dimensional strategies, Shakur takes a diverse approach. He blends technical perfection and strategic knowledge, making him surprising in the ring. Bernie points out that opponents frequently misread Shakur, believing that his calm attitude and controlled approach suggest a lack of aggression or threat. In actuality, Shakur's ability to react and understand his opponent enables him to capitalize on opportunities as soon as they arise. This mix of patience, timing, and technique offers him a distinct advantage as boxers like Teofimo Lopez face an adversary who is not only gifted but also extremely disciplined in carrying out his game plan.
He couldn't beat a one-handed guy. And if you go back and watch that fight, like I'm saying, Shakur wasn't just running. Jermaine Ortiz really moved a lot on Teo. That never happened with Shakur Stevenson and fighting this guy. That never happened. So De Los Santos is De Los Santos. He got a reputation off of that. That boosted his reputation. I don't know why. He didn't do nothing to Shakur. He didn't wobble him, didn't hurt him, didn't do nothing. You know what I mean? And the man was one-handed. So, but shout out to De Los Santos. Like I say, I think he's more risk than reward. Actually, That'll be a great fight for Abdullah Mason in his first title defense. That'll be a great fight for him in his title defense. That'll be a good. They should use him for that
instead of Joe Cordina.
Yeah, Joe Cordina was rough too, though. I watched him against the kid from Fresno. What's the kid's name? I forget his name. They was pushing him, but he just ain't there. He took a lot of punishment. He probably need to go get a job. Gabriel Flores. Gabe Flores. Yeah, Gabe Flores. Yeah. He from Fresno, or he from Sacramento. He from the Bay Area.
He just be training. Yeah, he be training.
Yeah. So I would say I would say that, you know what I mean? Because Abdullah Mason is the guy. You know, I think he got a lot of potential. And like I said, you know, him fighting a guy like De Los Santos is almost like a Bud fighting Gamboa in his first title defense. You know what I mean? So that would be a great fight for Abdullah Mason. You know what I mean? And he's more known than Joe Cordina. You know what I mean? And given the controversy that he's been in, you know what I'm saying? The way he's perceived as kind of feared, that'll be a great fight for Abdullah Mason.
Damn, my boy Bernie said that's like Gamboa versus Crawford for his first title defense. That shit is fire.
Terence Crawford adds another depth to this assessment by complimenting Shakur Stevenson in a brotherly and sympathetic manner. Crawford emphasizes that while some viewers may dismiss Shakur as monotonous, such an assessment overlooks the breadth of his abilities. Shakur's mastery of the ring is subtle yet profound. He can direct the course of a fight, making smart decisions that keep him safe while positioning himself to capitalize on mistakes. Crawford underlines that serious boxing fans can notice the brilliance in Shakur's technique, pointing out that his skill set extends beyond showy moves or knockouts. Stevenson is defined by his controlled accuracy, defensive knowledge, and measured aggression, and Crawford believes those who underestimate him are missing the bigger picture.
Are you saying that because that's your man and you don't like Tank?
No. Hey, like I said, I respect Tank. Boxing, he's one of the ones.
Yeah.
we gonna take his personality and personal things out of it. But boxing, he's definitely talented. You know what I mean? And he's definitely got that it. And he's definitely respected in boxing. But Shakur is a different fighter. You know, Shakur is different. You know, people may call him boring. People may say he can't punch. But they said the same thing about Floyd. Because they defensive.
Shane Mosley comments in on fighting techniques and how they affect the outcome of fights. Mosley believes that the styles brought to the ring by both boxers will be the deciding factor. He emphasizes the importance of power, speed, and patience, and how these traits interact to determine who dominates. Mosley observes that Shakur's methodical technique helps him to counteract raw aggression, whereas Teofimo's explosive strength and timing may test even the most composed opponent. The key, Mosley contends, is how well each fighter can impose their approach while adapting to the other's abilities, making the fight a test of not only skill but also tactical acumen.
It's going to get slower moving up in weight or not, where Teofimo can hit him. Maybe he was really fast at 130, 26-30, maybe 35, but 40, you put on a little bit more weight. Shakur Stevenson has a very strong style where he can sit back and pot shot you and box and stuff like that, where Teofimo can also box and is very athletic and can get from side to side and can make things difficult for you as well. So what style is going to impose on the other is what we want to see.
So which style will impose? Is it something where like the first rounds really will dictate, or?
I think you're going to need a couple of rounds, but the first round is going to be very interesting. Maybe you see some tails, but I think maybe 2 or 3 you're going to start seeing one leave the other. Because I don't think that, maybe, I mean, Shakur might show some different, if he has to go after Teofimo, he might show some different type of heart that we haven't seen or different type of fighting we haven't seen. And vice versa, you know, whereas Teofimo's hitting him with different shots off the angle that is kind of giving, you know, Shakur Stevenson trouble. We'll see about that.
Wade, a boxing expert, assesses the clash in terms of preparation and study. He notes that, given their parallel histories through amateur and professional boxing systems, Teofimo Lopez and Shakur Stevenson have most certainly spent a significant amount of time examining each other's approaches. This reciprocal familiarity creates an environment in which adjustments and counters are crucial. Wade argues that both fighters have the technical foundation to execute intricate plans. Thus, predicting and reacting to the opponent's actions is critical. The battle thus becomes a chess match in the ring, with minute tweaks and split-second decisions potentially determining the outcome.
Fight each other, there's probably not guys that know how they operate better. So if Teo is saying, I'm going to go out there and make you quit, essentially break you and stop you, that's something we haven't seen anyone get close to even hurting Shakur, really. Like, people say the Williams-Zepeda fight, Zepeda hit him with the right hand and Shakur got wobbled, even though it was clearly slipped. I thought that was one of Shakur's better performances because he dug down and bit down on his mouthpiece and said, I'm not just going to play the back foot and be slick and turn this into a very low output fight that I'll win because I'm just, he's better than Zepeda. But he went out there and dogged it out a little bit, and I respected him for it. I don't expect him to fight the same way versus Teofimo Lopez. I really don't. And I think people are looking at the Zepeda fight and going, yeah, that's Shakur we want. And I don't want to say he's going to disappoint people, but he will not fight that way with Teo. He won't. And Teo won't fight the same way Williams-Zepeda did. They'll both be very measured. I think it'll be a very slow-paced, low-output fight. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I could see maybe they go to war or something, but we're talking about styles making fights, and Teo's style, even if he's on his front foot, he doesn't commit to a lot of punches on the front foot, but he can fight that way. Shakur almost exclusively wants to go defense to offense versus leading the exchange. So I don't know, not to say Shakur will be on the back foot the whole time. That's not necessarily how I see the fight going, but I don't know if this is going to be like a knockdown, drag him out type of thing. I think we're going to get a defensive, sweet science display from both guys, which, by the way, I think works in Shakur's favor.
You said on there that Terence Crawford sent one of his little guys to come after you, implying that obviously you won't.
Lamont Roach praises Stevenson's ring expertise, particularly his exquisite footwork, timing, and anticipation. These powers enable Shakur to control the speed and flow of the fight. Roach explains that dominating the ring entails more than just movement. It also includes creating angles, keeping equilibrium, and setting traps for opponents. Shakur's proficiency in these areas enables him to conserve energy while forcing opponents into fewer advantageous positions. By controlling space and timing, Stevenson can pressure opponents like Teofimo Lopez without overcommitting, demonstrating why he is regarded as a tactically superior boxer at this stage in his career.
Some people thought he lost to Sando Martin. Who else?
He did beat Loma, who's arguably at the time considered one of the best in the world.
He did, and that was a hell of a performance too. A hell of a performance too. So yeah, I mean, I think he's hit or miss. You got to think he got stuff. He a little cuckoo too. Like he has like a little mental lapses every once in a while. Look at the Kambosos fight. Like, that's a fight that people would never expect Kambosos to win. And he won a grueling match against him as well. So I just, I don't know. I don't think he can get it done against Shakur when it comes to like, cause it's gonna be just a skill match. I don't think he's gonna try to rough it.
Paulie Malignaggi discusses how Teofimo Lopez is perceived building up to important fights. He points out that Teofimo is routinely criticized and undervalued, which is exacerbated when he faces a high-profile fighter like Shakur Stevenson. Malignaggi notes that while the gap in attention and reputation can influence public expectations and media narratives, it does not decrease Teofimo's talents. Instead, it adds another element of mental struggle for both fighters. The huge stakes, along with Stevenson's technical prowess and Lopez's drive, promise a captivating contest in which preparation, skill, and psychological resilience will all play important roles in selecting the winner.
Teofimo is at his most dangerous when he's counted out. And this is going to be one of those fights where he's going to be counted out. Because Shakur is looked at by and large as the guy who can dominate boxing in this generation, right? It's just a matter of him getting the opportunity. I myself have felt that he's the guy who could and should be dominating boxing if he gets the right matchups. But bro, this is one of the rare matchups, if not maybe the only matchup, where I feel like is a big threat here to Shakur. And then they would all come undone only because of this reason. Teofimo Lopez, we've seen him at his best. but he typically brings out his best characteristics when he's back against the wall and he's counted out. And he's going to be counted out in this fight. By and large, people are going to side with Shakur in this fight to win the fight because he's the more consistent fighter, he's the more class fighter overall, and he's just...
That's all for today's video. Stay tuned until the next time.